Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, or what time is it? Pema and Tomo seems to be behind the wrong Zoom link, so they will connect pretty soon, I guess. So be patient.
Ja, Bruder, und?
Ja. Okay.
The participant mit Mihira Nirish.
Ale.
Alle. Wir sind so jung.
So the corner of some juice of the American.
Some subject. The Kazushi. Opera, the Samat. Carol. Anonymous. Anonymous.
Ale.
We go to the message.
Vamos.
Continua con Garwa.
What is the relator?
Good morning.
Lovely. Good morning.
Everybody, good morning, and also touch the layer. So now I'm just getting myself ready to speak about 1.5 hours. Of course, there will be no question answer, but anyhow, and Changju and Somo both are here and to help me. So today I'm not in my home, so I'm in Changju's home. So we are a bit late by 5 minutes. I think it's okay. Yeah. So now, is it okay if I start with the topic? Yeah. So I think we have about 3 days teaching. So today's teaching topic is, as I mentioned, precious human life and its causes, conditions. So that is, I think most of you heard this teaching many times. And so there's nothing I can say new things, but still I think I have to repeat this again, as it was slightly mentioned in Tanya's mail that he gave me a hint that this may be a good topic. So then I also thought this is a very good topic. And finally I decided this topic. So therefore, precious human life. So now, today, you all are there, and then including myself, we can say that we are born as a human being, plus we are born as a human being and also having a lot of potential and a lot of good fortune to listen Buddha's teaching and read Buddha's teaching. And even these days, we can also meet His Holiness Dalai Lama, the spiritual teacher, Buddhist teacher, the highest spiritual Buddhist teacher. And many, many teachers. Okay, so these days now in the West, there are many, many good teachers. So these are the things which makes our life very precious. Why? Because listening their teaching and trying to understand their teaching and then try to implement their teaching in their life makes so meaningful. Therefore, this meaningful teaching and practice is possible only if we have this human rebirth. So therefore, human rebirth is very precious. And so now I thought of like saying few things which are more practical in our life. And so, of course, in the text, I can say many things, but then practically when we are leading our life, our daily life, then how we can make our life very meaningful. Because we are born in a precious human life, but then if we are unable to use this precious human life in the best and most meaningful way, and then even we are born in a precious human life, it doesn't make much sense. So therefore, I have few points. Okay, I have few points, and so one of the point is, okay, one of the point is that what I can do in this precious life, in this precious human life, what I can do, okay? Is it really okay if I do everything for myself or for my relative or for my parents or for my family? Is it really okay? Or is there any other way we can do a little bit more than this, okay? That is one thing. And then the other thing is that now, what is good action and what is bad action? And what is good thought and what is bad thought? And what is good speech and bad speech? Okay, so we have to know these things. If we make bad speech, and then we are not using our precious human life in a proper way. If we think many bad things, and then also we are wasting our precious human life, or we are really using our precious human life in a worse way. And then our actions, we do many bad actions. Then also we are misusing, or we are wasting the precious human life. So therefore, we have to be very clear that this is good and this is bad. Then only we can say that if we do all the good things, and then we are using our precious human life in the best way. So that we all have to check our own self. You see, we cannot check everybody as one thing, but we can check everything in such a way that one's own thought, one's own action, and one's own speech, these are to be checked thoroughly. So first thing is that why human life, which we have acquired, is why it is precious. So if it is, why it is precious? Because it has so much chance or the opportunity to do many good things, you see. There's no limit. In this life, we can do so many good things. Even the highest goal in Buddhism is the Buddhahood. That also can be achieved in this human life. No other rebirth is possible to achieve enlightenment. But in our life, we can achieve enlightenment, which is the highest goal. So if we are unable to achieve this, we can also target something else, okay? Now we say, okay, this life, I really wanted to cultivate my mind into bodhicitta. And then what is bodhicitta? As you all know, that bodhicitta is aiming to achieve enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings. Oh, this mind is so precious, okay? As soon as we get a little taste of bodhicitta, and we are on the way to practice bodhicitta, even in the very basic level, it makes so much meaning, okay? It makes so much meaning for one's own life, and it makes so much meaning for others' life, and it makes really the best life. Therefore, this is also possible. This is one of the choice, okay? But if enlightenment is not possible, and then we can say that I really wanted to achieve, I really want to transform my mind into bodhicitta. Okay, bodhicitta is also not that easy, okay? So what is the most important thing in bodhicitta is that we have to remove all the selfish thinking, selfish action, selfish speaking. And we all have to devote only for the sake of all sentient being. For the sake of all sentient being, we are ever ready to sacrifice anything, okay? And for the sake of all sentient being, I really want to work very hard to achieve Buddhahood so that I will be able to help other sentient beings unmistakably. So this is also a big thing. So if you say, okay, oh, this is also quite difficult for us, then what other things we can do? Okay, say now, bodhicitta is also a little bit too high. So shall I start with compassion, great compassion? In this life, it is also possible, okay? But it totally depends upon how much effort you put, how much hard work you put to cultivate compassion or loving kindness, great compassion, and so on, you see. So compassion is such a beautiful, meaningful mind, which is aiming to remove the suffering and sources of suffering of all sentient beings. That is also possible in this life. So actually in this life, if you want to achieve enlightenment, that is also possible. If you want to achieve nirvana, that is also possible. If you want to cultivate your mind into bodhicitta, which is also possible. If you want to cultivate your mind into great compassion, which is also possible. If you want to try to understand the emptiness and try to develop wisdom, which is also possible. And that is only possible in this human rebirth, okay, human life. If we are born as animal, and some of the animals are quite clever, but there's no way they can understand all these things. There's no way they can try to achieve enlightenment, or there's no way they can achieve bodhicitta or wisdom. So the difference is that animal life is not so precious as human life. And compared to animal life, the human life is so precious because in human life, we can do so many good things. Okay? Among the so many good things, I'm saying Buddhahood is very good, and bodhicitta is very good, wisdom is very good, compassion is very good, and all the 6 perfections, all this again. Then minimum, say, ethical discipline is very good. Okay, all these are possible in this life. Therefore, our life is very precious. Okay. Now, here's another sort of way of seeing whether you make your life, precious human life, as a precious, or your life to not to be precious. Okay, it is totally up to you. The life itself has a potential to do so many good things, as I mentioned. But if we just go on doing so many bad things, if we just go on speaking so many bad things, including like telling lie, if we just go on thinking of harming others or so many bad things, okay, and then our actions are mostly related with their harming other people. If we go on doing like this, even we are born having a potential, a good potential to do good things, but still, if we are just going doing all these bad things, and then our life, even born as a human being, has no difference between the animal life. And sometimes even we think today, some of the animal lives are, maybe sometimes we feel that it's more better. Why? Because some people are so much power, and so much money, and so much skill, and so much education, but then their intelligence, education, money, everything is used to destroy thousands of people. And then I think compared to this, the animal can't do this. Then we can say, to be born in that types of human life, I will say prefer to born as an animal, because at least the animal will not be able to do many good things, but at least it will not harm thousands of people, you see. And so there are, now today we build nuclear weapons, okay? And then last night I heard that there's something like a magnetic type of weapon which destroys so many things, you see. And these are all made by human beings, wasted a lot of money, wasted a lot of human potential. But then a main aim is to kill or to put millions of people in suffering. Then there's no point to be born in this human life. So now we can say that we who are here in this teaching, we are all aiming to achieve or to change our mind into good mind, to change our life in a meaningful life, to spend our time in the most meaningful way, and aim to do something good for every sentient being. So we have all the potential. So therefore, we can say that among us who are here, we will never make even a small gun to kill others. We will not make this, okay? We will even not say anything bad, okay? Like killing 1,000 people. We will not use these words. We might say some harsh words out of our anger, but we will never engage in war or making nuclear weapons, all these things. So we are, in a way, we are very lucky, okay? Being born as a human being, and then we met Buddha's teaching, and then we met His Holiness Dalai Lama many times, and we are so interested to listen to His Holiness guidance. And then with this now, we are just on the way, okay? We are just on a, sort of, almost I can say, on a perfect way. So therefore, even we can make more meaningful, you see, more meaningful than what we have done up to now. We can do much more than this. So I'm just suggesting, okay, I'm suggesting, first is I'm asking one question. Where are you, okay? Where is your Buddhist practice? Where are you, okay? Or I can say that, how is your Buddhist practice going on? Is there any solid answer or solid solid result, okay, which you can say that now I am 60 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, 70 years old, and up to now I practiced and my practice achieved this level. Do we have anything concrete answer to this? If not, then we also have to think very carefully. I'm born as a human being. I have so much potential. I have intelligence. I met Buddha's teaching. I met many Buddhist books, and I listened many teaching from His Holiness Dalai Lama. And then, but when I check myself, okay, if I check myself, then how much I achieved? What did I practice up to now? What did I practice? Did I spend my life in a meaningful way, or I just wasted my 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, 70 years? Just simply I wasted. So that is the crucial point where we have to really check, okay? You all know what I'm talking today. You all know, I know that you all know what I'm talking today. But my focus today is, I'm not here to give you new information or new teaching, but I'm here to check how much we practiced and how much we achieved. Are we totally failure, or are we really successful, or we are 50-50 or whatever? So we have to be realistic to one's own self. We have to be very realistic to one's own self, because Buddhist practice has to be based on the truth, okay? Based on the truth, okay? Pretending is not enough. And then also say, I read this book and that book and that is also not enough. But practice means you have to put everything into your life, okay? Your way of thinking has to be exactly according to Buddha's teaching. Your action has to be according to Buddha's teaching. Your speech has to be according to Buddha's teaching. On top of this, okay, you are among millions of human beings, sentient beings. So you have so much potential to help them, not only by money or food, but just if you say many nice things, okay, meaningful things, it also helps. So therefore, in a day, okay, how much good thing you do, or how much hours you do to collect good karmas, how many hours you use just in a normal way, or how many hours a minute you use to do so many bad things. But now we have to be really, focused. Focus. Whatever we learn, we really have to. I always mention this, okay, and then I always mention great Milarepa saying. He says that just by seeing food is not enough. You have to eat it. In the same way, by listening teaching is not enough, or reading teaching is not enough. You have to practice or meditate. Then only it makes sense, you see. As Shantideva also, I quoted, you see, in many times. He says that if you just by merely understanding the words, it doesn't make any sort of benefit for you. And then just listening, teaching is like almost like you are reading the prescription of the medicine. So if you eat the medicine, then only it makes a difference in your body. In the same way, by practicing Buddhism, meditating Buddhism, then it only changes your innermost world, which is mind. And then because of changing of the mind, your speech, body, action, everything will be changed. So therefore, we have to focus. Last time I also stressed on this issue, and this time I'm also saying the same, because not everywhere, so many are listening teaching, they know a lot, including myself. I read a lot, I studied quite a lot. But when it comes to real practice, then there is the problem, you see. So my stress is just which level your practice is, okay? Are you on the way to cultivate renunciation, or are you on the way to change your mind into great compassion, or loving kindness, or bodhicitta, or your analytical meditation so sharp that your mind is almost changing into wisdom on emptiness? Or have you been practicing generosity, okay? Have you been practicing your ethical discipline, and you reach to like a very good standard of ethical discipline, very good standard of generosity, and so on. So that you have to check, because now time is running out, okay? Time is really running out. In my case, I'm 73 years old. Okay, so now I spent 73 years on this planet. I've eaten a lot of food. I used a lot of clothes. Okay, I stayed in a nice house. And so I used a lot. But now if I ask, where is your state of mind? Or I can say, what did you practice up to now? What did you achieve? Okay. That really makes the precious human life really precious, okay? Really precious. If you practice wholeheartedly, based on your speech, based on your body action, based on your thinking, and everything, okay? If you just practice Buddha's teaching exactly according to how Buddha taught us, and then if you change, okay, your mind change into Buddha's teaching, and your actions are changed into according to Buddha's teaching. And so your aim of achieving Buddhahood is also coming towards you. And so if you are on this way, and then of course, this is very, very good. And then we can say that we achieved good, precious human rebirth, which is worth. And then we also say that we use precious human life in the way Buddha taught us to use. So therefore, today's topic, precious human life, is not to teach about precious human life, but then today is that how we did up to now. How did we use precious human life up to now? Are we very successful or 50-50, or we are totally failure or stupid? And now today, like we are getting together, today we need to make a target, or we need to make a commitment. So up to now, I'm sorry, I'm not very successful. Some people may say, I tried my best, but I was not so successful. Some people may say, yes, I wasted a lot of time just going here and there, talking and eating, and so many part of precious human life has been wasted. Just not understanding properly how precious every hour or every minute is. So I hope it makes sense to you. And I'd like to say, please, okay, check yourself. You are born as a good human rebirth, and you have all the potential to do many good things, including achieving the enlightenment and changing your mind into bodhicitta or wisdom or compassion or loving kindness. All those are possible in this life. But if you didn't achieve all these things, now it is a high time to focus, okay? Don't waste your time. Don't waste your part of life, which is so precious, okay? And there are so many meaningful you can do by having all these, cultivating all these minds. So many precious, so many benefit things you can do for every sentient being. So therefore, your focus on practice is so important, okay? Very important. Even if you say Om Mani Padme Hum, okay? And you just say Om Mani Padme Hum. But why you are saying Om Mani Padme Hum? Is it just for the sake of yourself to be healthy and to be more successful in business? Or aiming to keep yourself healthy? Or aiming to have enough money for your life, this life? And this is very small thing, okay? This is very small thing. You have to aim. I am saying Om Mani Padme Hum, but my intention or my motivation of saying Om Mani Padme Hum is benefit every sentient being. If you do meditation, again, you say my meditation is motivation of my doing meditation is to benefit every sentient being. So whatever speech, whatever thought, whatever physical action you do, this is all meant for the all sentient being. If you go on doing this every day, and then meditating, and then reading, and then discussing, and asking questions, and so on, and then I think one day, or after 1 year, or 2, 3 years, and you will see the difference. And that is the best way to make meaning in this precious human life. Okay? If you don't check what you are doing, what you are achieving, what makes better sense, better meaning, not only for yourself, not only for your family, for everybody. If you just check, and then you will know exactly where you are. And then you will know whether you are making mistake or you are on the correct path. So with this, my stress today is we are born as a good human rebirth, okay? Now, up to now, most of us has wasted our precious human life, okay? Just doing so many things which are not so important, you see? Doing so many things which are not at all important, you see? For example, say, okay, now, I can put some example, okay? Say Milarepa, okay? Milarepa, he was same as us, good human being, okay, human being. But he didn't waste his time for business or for money or for good house or good bank balance, or he didn't spend any money, any time like this, okay. He just listened his teaching from his teacher, spiritual teacher Marpa, and he practiced. He practiced, okay. He didn't run after the money. He didn't run after the new fashion clothes. He didn't run after delicious food. He didn't run after powers and positions and political issues. He never aimed to this, but he just trained his mind into renunciation. He trained his mind into great compassion. He practiced all the 6 perfections, and ultimately he achieved enlightenment. And he left all these teachings. If you read his life, which is a thick book, and all his spiritual songs, 1,000 spiritual songs, okay? If you read these things, how meaningful they are. And he achieved all these things. After achieving, he gave this as a guidance to us. So now we see the difference, okay? How we spend our life, how Milarepa spent his life. How we spend our life, how Chantideva spent his life. How we spend our belongings, our properties, our money, how they spend their belongings, their money. So the difference, if you check, is a big difference, you see. So if you believe in Buddha's teaching, if you believe that you really wanted to change your mind into compassionate, into bodhicitta, into wisdom, and you have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere, okay? Of course, we have been talking quite a lot. And of course, we have been talking a lot about great compassion. So how I can cultivate great compassion? How? If I eat a very healthy food, will my mind change into great compassion? If I have very good family members, family, will this change my mind into great compassion? What do I have to do to change my mind into great compassion? We have to search. We have to search. You know the meaning of great compassion, and you know how to cultivate great compassion. And so therefore, you have to think. You have to think. You have to think. You have to plan. Now, I think there's no time to waste your time, part of your life. So you have to start. So now if you say, okay, today, now from today onwards, I really like to cultivate great compassion. So then how you can practice great compassion? How it grows in you? Is it like growing like grass in the field, or is it growing like tree in the forest? Or is it growing our babies and like this? No, it has to be grown in our mind by doing meditation. What meditation? So first thing is, okay, I like great compassion. Okay, that great compassion is, I have to focus. I have to be totally sincere, have to have a pure heart to remove the suffering and social sufferings of every sentient being. If you go on thinking this, okay, is it go on thinking, analyzing, then you will know how strong my feeling towards other sentient beings who are suffering. Then you will know that your feeling towards others suffering is not that strong. Why? Because you didn't develop renunciation on yourself. Renunciation means if you have strong determination to be free from suffering and social suffering in this samsara. If you don't have feeling on yourself that I really wanted to be free from samsara, I really wanted to achieve nirvana, I wanted to remove all. If you don't have this on your own life, if you don't have this strong feeling that I really wanted to achieve enlightenment, nirvana, I really want to be free from samsara, I really wanted to be free from suffering and social suffering. If by doing this, okay, if you have very strong feeling, and then if you transfer this experience of really wanting to be free from samsara and sources of the samsara, if you transfer this into other sentient being, and then it is possible that you will be able to cultivate with it a great compassion. By having this, and then you will have a loving kindness and compassion, which is also possible. So therefore, where we have to start? We have to start from the renunciation. The renunciation is a mind based on yourself, that I really wanted to be free from samsara, okay? Determination to be free from samsara, that you don't like to be in samsara, because this samsara is so much suffering. Birth, death, different disease, and old age, okay? All these are terrible sort of suffering. We will never remain as young as we are now, okay? We will get old slowly. Our body will decrease. Our memory also decrease. And also everything, okay? Our strength and our appearance, everything changes, slowly changes, okay? There's no way we can escape from there. And then ultimately we encounter death, okay? Which we don't like. No one likes death, but we have to die. So in this way, all these samsaric problems, sufferings, you just think on yourself that, oh, I'm not free from suffering, a source of suffering. I'm not free from samsara. I'm trapped terribly in a bad way. So I'm just totally wasting my time in this samsara without any meaning, getting older, getting sick, and ultimately I die. And then during my lifetime, if I have done so many good things, of course it's okay, but we do quite a lot of bad things, including like the killing, telling lie, and stealing and bullying and so many things, you see. So then you have to think, oh, I really don't want to do this because I really wanted to be free from samsara. So I don't want to do this. For the sake of myself, okay, I really wanted to be free from samsara and the source of samsara. And this determination is called renunciation, okay? That is possible if you really practice. By using your precious human life and practice, then only possible. So therefore, renunciation is your first step. If you want to practice, you have to start from renunciation, okay? Without renunciation, I think almost like your practice is very shallow. Not much meaning, okay? You have to practice, not attached to yourself, okay? Not attached to your property, not attached to your relatives or so on. And try to think, totally detached from these worldly things, okay? Worldly pleasures, worldly names and fames and properties, belongings, okay? You have to be totally detached from there. And even your physical body, you have to be totally detached, see? You should not be attached, totally blindly attached. Because of this, we have trapped into this samsara. So then we started thinking, okay, what makes my next life good or bad, okay? So now this is totally how I am practicing renunciation, okay? So renunciation is totally detached from all these names and fames and the belongings and everything, totally detached, okay? Detached means you should not have strong attachment to this, okay? You can have money, you can have house, you can have car, but you should not be totally attached, totally blindly attached to this. And that is the trap, okay? If you don't have strong attachment towards car, and then having car is okay, no problem. If you're not blindly attached to your money, and it's just having money is okay. You can use the money in a very, very meaningful way also. So therefore, the renunciation is to be totally detached, okay? Including you should not be so attached to your body, okay? For the sake of your body, you are ever ready to spend so much money, okay? Just to cover this body, you buy so many clothes and so many, eat so many good things, just simply just to entertain this body, which is not worth. Instead, detach yourself from your own body and try to think that I wanted to be free from this body, okay, which is the pervasive suffering. I don't want to be attached to this. So in this way, if you have, by thinking, if you have developed a strong determination to be free from this body, to be free from this samsara, and to be free from all these traps, okay, which are leading towards samsara. And this, in short, is renunciation. The renunciation is not necessary to be beggar or having no shoe, no clothes. Not necessary, okay? Just whatever you have, you can have it, but not to be attached. Of course, it is very, very difficult, and it having a lot of things not to be attached is really very difficult, okay? Very difficult. So therefore, most of the practitioners, they try to stay themselves away from all this wealth and name and fame and all these facilities and everything. Try to remain far away from this, okay? And then after a certain time, okay, when the mind is trained, then if you have a lot, it doesn't matter. If you don't have anything, it will not give any problem. So you will be always happy. Even if you have a lot, you will be very happy even if you don't have anything, okay? Like if you read the life of Milarepa, then you will know, okay? There are many, many great spiritual teachers who have practiced renunciation and shown us the best example. So you have to read. So therefore, if you wanted to cultivate bodhicitta, for the bodhicitta, we need loving kindness, compassion. And to have loving kindness, compassion, we need renunciation. And then to practice renunciation, you have to detach, okay, including name, fame, and including your body, including your family members. Try to detach. Detach means you don't have to go somewhere, leave all your family members, leave your body in somewhere and go somewhere. It doesn't mean like this, okay? We are so attached to your name. We are so attached to your own family members, attached to your bank balance, attached to your house. This strong attachment should be removed, okay? Should be removed, okay? You have to get yourself ready to depart from all these things, you see? And then you have to get yourself determined to achieve nirvana or salvation. And then having this mind, if you transfer this mind into others, I really want you to be free from samsara and want you to be free from samsara. and also wanted to be free from sources of the samsara. Why? Because this is so endless. And during this samsaric life, there's so much suffering. And then this suffering, if these sufferings are meaningful, it's okay to bear. But these sufferings are so meaningless. Okay? We have been born in this samsara million times. We suffered, we born, die, get sick, old, everything. But we have nothing in our mind. We have nothing achieved. So now we have to make full determination that I really wanted to change. Now I really wanted to use this precious human life in the best way because it has potential. Because it has potential. It has potential to achieve nirvana. It has potential to change the mind into bodhicitta. It has potential to achieve even enlightenment. It has potential. Okay? If we don't use, it's our stupidity. It's our stupidity. So therefore, this human life, which I achieved in this life, now this is so precious, so precious. I cannot compare with any other things which I have. This is the most precious thing. And then to make this most precious, I have to use this in the best way. The best way to use is practice dharma. To practice dharma, to start with renunciation. To understand, okay, to understand and then to understand and then practice, contemplate, and then meditate and try to achieve renunciation. And by achieving renunciation on yourself to be free from samsara, then you transfer this into different sentient being who has been very kind in many, many lifetimes. Transfer this and you will be able to cultivate great compassion. By having this great compassion, the loving kindness will automatically come, and then unusual attitude, and then your mind will be changed into bodhicitta. Then once your mind is changed into bodhicitta, okay, then you really succeeded great, one of the greatest mind, okay. All the Buddhas taught eons and eons what will be the most useful thing for the all sentient being. The answer was bodhicitta, okay. Buddhas taught eons and eons what will be the best, most beneficial thing for all sentient beings. The answer was bodhicitta. So your practice of bodhicitta, starting from renunciation and cultivating, changing into compassion and loving kindness, and practicing this intensely, and then changing into unusual attitude means I really want to take the responsibility to remove the suffering and source of suffering to all sentient beings. And I will take the responsibility to achieve happiness and sources of the happiness of all sentient beings. So that taking responsibility by yourself is an unusual attitude. By practicing this, and your mind will change into bodhicitta, which is practically aiming to achieve Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. So then all sentient beings become so close to your heart. Okay? There's nothing more important than the welfare of other sentient beings. There's no other important thing you can do than for the benefit of all sentient beings. So therefore, up to now, we have been very selfish. We have been doing everything for one's own self, which didn't give any good result. Now today onwards, I really wanted to spend my precious human life for the sake of all sentient beings, to benefit all sentient beings. So by starting having this mind, and then whatever you do becomes so meaningful. And then today, the whole world is now having so much problem because of lack of compassion, because of lack of loving kindness, because of lack of bodhicitta, and because of lack of renunciation. So by having this mind, and then your life becomes so meaningful, and you will become a very useful person, and you will be able to help so many human beings, And by this, and then slowly, slowly, you will achieve Buddhahood. And then you will be able to do service to all sentient being in a very unmistakable way, in the most powerful way, most enlightened way. So that is the things what I really wanted to request you, every one of you, say that please, please, okay, practice. I'm not saying that please read books, listen teaching, I'm not saying. Now you have read enough, you listen teaching enough, so now it is time that you have to practice. And today I stressed on practice, okay? And I also explained how to practice, where to start. Where to start? We wasted our precious human life by doing so many unnecessary things, by doing so many meaningless things. So now we have to focus that I really want to use my precious human life in the best way. What is the best way? I don't want to be attached, okay, attached to my belongings, to my loved ones, and I don't want to be attached to the names and fames and properties and so on. Just I like to be totally detached. And then only you will say that I'm not so attached. Because if you're not attached to your property, then for the sake of your property, you will not earn any bad karma. If you're attached to somewhere, then for the sake of this, to achieve this or to protect this or to acquire more of this, and then you earn bad karma, okay? If you are seeking only for the names and fames, okay, now today you see the politicians, how much they are corrupted, how much they are misusing their power, how much they are telling lies, and then how much they are dealing with so many dreadful weapons to kill so many human beings. So if you are attached to the name, you will do all these things. If you are attached to money, you will do all these things. If you are attached to power, you will do all these bad things. So if you are totally detached from this, and then you will not do all these bad things. Instead, you will maintain high quality of morality. And then on top of this, you will be able to cultivate compassion towards all sentient beings. Instead of harming, you will always intend to help other sentient beings without differentiating nationality, colors, or faith, just to everybody, okay? So this is our practice. Just as soon as you wake up in the morning, okay, you just say, today I will not waste my day. Today I will use my precious, part of my precious human life, which is one day, which I will use this in the most meaningful way. Okay? I will not use this day in a very stupid way or in a selfish way. Instead, I will use whole day for the benefit of every sentient being. So I will not think anything bad to intend to harm anybody. I will not tell lie. I will not do anything, killing and everything. So I try to maintain my morality for the benefit of all sentient beings. So these are not very complicated, and this comes in our daily life. So therefore, our practice has to be started from there. If we are attached to money, and we will do all the bad things, okay? We will tell lie. If this watch costs only $10, I may say, because I'm so attached to the money, so I say it costs $100. And then I earn bad karma. And other has to pay this $100. So just this is a small example, okay? So the main practice is what I'm saying today. The main practice, you're born as a good human rebirth, and this human rebirth is very, very precious. Why? It has so much potential to do so many good things. Therefore, now you should not make any mistake, okay? You should make decision saying that, okay, I don't want to waste my life for the sake of name or the fame or only for money or only for food and all these things. I don't want to waste my life in this way. I really wanted to use my precious human life to benefit all sentient beings. To benefit all sentient beings. When I'm about to die, I can feel that, oh, now I have done so many good things. Now I have no regret, you see. So these types of things, you have to start from today. So I hope I'm making sense, you see. Now, I know that many of you have listened teaching from me. And we have been meeting many times. We have been talking many times. And we are writing. Many of them, they are also writing questions to me. And I try to answer. But the main purpose is, the question is that, did you really practice? And you may ask me, okay, Geshe, did you practice this, okay? So we all have to be very sincere, okay? We all have to be very sincere. But we have to practice, okay? No one can check. No one can check. The most intelligent judges, okay, they cannot check what I'm doing, what I'm practicing. The law of karma will tell us, okay? The law of karma will take its own shape when we die. No one will do anything, okay? So therefore, our practice, today I'm saying that please start your practice renunciation by detaching. Don't be attached to the name. Don't be so attached to the fame. Don't develop so strong attachment to your belongings, to your family members, and try to be detached. Okay? But still, you can be a nice mother or nice brother or nice uncle, okay? No problem. But not blindly attached, okay? Try to detach. You yourself get yourself ready to say goodbye to these things. Ultimately, we have to say goodbye to all your belongings, you see. Even you have to say goodbye to your own body. You can't take anything with you. So before it really comes, we have to cultivate totally strong detachment and to achieve nirvana. Okay, to achieve nirvana, which is the totally free from samsara and source of samsara. Okay. By having this in your practice, and then you cultivate this to other sentient beings who are suffering endlessly, okay, endlessly suffering. And then you started having what? Compassion, great compassion. By cultivating renunciation, you recognize that how you suffered, and then how you wanted to be free from this suffering. And then if you transfer this to other sentient beings, how they suffered, the same way as I suffered. And then I wanted to use, okay, I wanted to say that I really wanted to detach from all these things so that I will be free from samsara. In the same way, those people who are totally attached to these holy things, teach them how to be, teach them with a good feeling, okay, good motivation, that I really wanted to make those people also free from some suffering, source of suffering. And that practice is great compassion. So I hope I did repeat this again and again, because when you are alone, you have to know this and don't make any mistake. Because if you make mistake, then you will not get the result what you are expecting. Okay? If you want to have a good result, like say enlightenment or nirvana or bodhicitta or wisdom, then you have to accumulate all the cause and condition which are unmistaken cause and condition, which will give the result of compassion, enlightenment, and so on. So therefore, you have to be totally clear. So try not to be totally attached in this life. And try to get yourself ready, okay, to depart from there. Because ultimately you have to depart. You have to leave everything. Because life is so impermanent. And you will never remain here forever. Even you build a very, very strong building, the maximum you will live there maybe 50, 60 years. And then you have to leave the house. You will not be able to take even a table, okay? You will not be able to take even the spoon from the kitchen. And you will not be able to take your body. So you have to get yourself totally detached, you see. And for the sake of these things, okay, you should not earn any bad karma. It's not worth earning bad karma because of all these things. Because if we are attached, then we will automatically earn many bad karma to acquire all these things, to acquire name, to acquire property, fame, and so many things. And then we do many, many bad things. So we should not be attached to this so that the earning bad karma will be minimized. So in this way, you have to really try, okay, started practicing, practice, okay. I'm not giving extra teaching about precious human life, but I'm just stressing that you have to use the precious human life by practicing Buddha's Dharma, okay. And especially today, I'm stressing on renunciation, not to be detached to your property, your name or fame or family members. So you just have to get yourself ready. If you are attached, then you are bound to make a lot of mistakes. If you are attached to the name, and for the sake of name, you will do many bad things, okay? You are so attached to your money, then for the sake of money, and you will earn many, many bad things, you see. You will do many bad things. So therefore, not to be attached. Get yourself that I wanted to be free from all these things, okay? And this is the practice today, okay? This is the practice. And if you are practicing this, and you are reducing your attachment to your name, fame, property, and all this, if you are reducing this, and then that means you are really practicing, okay? And by practicing this renunciation, then you will be able to cultivate great compassion. Without renunciation, based on your own life, which is full of suffering, and then cultivating compassion to others is not possible, okay? As Shantideva says, so this is what I have been quoting again and again. So now we say again that our life is very precious, but if it is permanent, we can do tomorrow, or we can do next year, or maybe after 10 years. But it is not permanent, okay? It is impermanent. And when the death will come, we don't know. It will definitely come, but we don't know when it will come. It may come tomorrow, it may come next year, and it may come after 10 years, or it may come after 40, 50 years, but it will come. And what you will be able to take in the next life? Your good karma, your compassion, your renunciation, your loving kindness, your bodhicitta, your practice of dharma. That will follow with you in the next life and next life and next life. But you cannot take your house, you cannot take your body, you cannot take your clothes, you cannot take your bank balance, you cannot take your friends or your husband or wife, or mother, daughter, sister. You cannot take. You cannot take. Okay? You have to leave this and you have to go alone. With all these practices, okay, all the good practices, it will follow with you. If it's a bad practice, also it will follow with you. So therefore, the renunciation, cultivating renunciation is the core practice, okay? Almost like this is the foundation of your practice. What is renunciation? Not to be attached to name, not to be attached to the fame, not to be attached to the property, not to be attached to all the worldly things, okay? Try to detach. Why? If we're attached, then it makes us to make a lot of mistakes. Because of attachment, if someone says wrong thing to that, we get angry. And if someone is doing better than to whom we love, and we get jealousy. And because of this anger, jealousy, and then we do many bad karmas. We earn many bad karmas through our speech, through our thought, through our physical action. And that leads us to suffer more and more and more. We have been doing this for eons and eons. So now I'm repeating again, and practice. Please practice, okay? The practice means you have to get yourself ready. Should not be attached to the name and fame. If you get the name and fame, it's okay, but you should not be attached. If you have a lot of money, it's okay, but you should not be blindly attached to your money. Well, if you have a good house, it's okay, but you should not be attached to the good house, okay? So renunciation is to be detached, okay? By detaching, not attaching, detaching will give us space to be free from there, and then we will be not doing any wrong things, okay? If we are attached, and then for the sake of that to get, we do many bad things. If we have like $1,000, if I'm attached to my $1,000, then I'd like to have more $1,000 and 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. To earn all these things, then I have to tell lie. I have to do many, many bad things, you see. And then so many people are making a lot of money by selling weapons. And so many people are making weapons to kill others, to earn money. And so many people are giving training to kill others, to earn more money. So these are the mistakes we are making. Therefore, totally detached from worldly things. Detached from the name and fame, detached from all the belongings and all these things, okay? And then stay yourself away from these destructive things like attachment and anger and jealousy and ego. And then you will not earn any bad karma. And then you will not suffer in samsara again. And you will be able to free yourself from this samsara, and you are able to achieve nirvana. If you do this for the sake of all sentient beings, then you are cultivating bodhicitta, and then you will be able to achieve enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings. And then whole cause and condition of suffering is totally ended, okay, forever, and it will not come back again. So to achieve this practice, and you have to start somewhere. Of course, I like to give chance to ask question, but now I think this is not possible today. And hopefully when we will meet next time, and then you can ask question. And then if you have some question, you can also write to me. And if you write the question in a very precise, I will be able to answer, okay? If you write a very, very long question, And sometimes, whether you are asking question or you are teaching to me, sometimes it's quite difficult to differentiate. So if you make the precise question, then I will try my best to give answer. And then, of course, there will be chance that we will be meeting either in Finland or in Estonia, or some of my friends are also coming from United States and from Holland, from Israel, and then from Sweden. And so we will be meeting again and then try to have some time to discuss about the Buddhism, our practice. Sometimes we meet, but then we are spending all our time by talking, informing, and then like a good food and da. So instead this, we can also spend more time on our practice. And so I hope you are very clear today. I say that we achieved a very precious human life, which is very precious. Why? Because in this human life, we can do many good things, okay? Including, okay, the highest good thing, which is enlightenment or Buddhahood. That is also possible in this human rebirth. If you are able to achieve Buddhahood, what more precious we can expect, you see? And then, if you want to be Bodhisattva, by cultivating Bodhicitta, in this life, it's possible. It's totally up to you. And then if you want to do something good for every sentient being, that is also possible in this human rebirth. If you want to do meditation, receive teaching, listen, contemplate, it's also possible in this life. And then if you wanted to be free from samsara and wanted to achieve nirvana, which is also possible in this life. So in this life, the best and the most meaningful things you can achieve in this precious human life. Therefore, by seeing this, and you can say that, okay, whatever rebirth I achieved, or I am in the form of human being, oh, this is such a good chance, golden opportunity. Therefore, we say this is a very, very precious human life. And if you use this precious human life, you can achieve so many good things as explained. So then, if you misuse this, or if you use this in a very stupid way, then you are really stupid. Then you can say that I think the most stupid person who has such a good human rebirth and then didn't achieve anything, went to the next life empty-handed. So much sort of loss, big loss. Really, it is such a big loss. So please try to make this life very meaningful, and then the preciousness, what we say, precious human life, is really precious human life. Then it makes sense that because it has potential. It has a potential to do so many good things, and it has a potential to abandon so many bad things, you see. It is almost like everything. So therefore, try not to waste this good, precious human life. Try not to waste. Try to use this in the best way and in the most meaningful way. So this is the practice. As soon as you wake up in the morning, oh, I'm so lucky that I'm born as a good human rebirth. I have so much opportunity to do so many good things. And everything is possible. Don't say that this is not possible to me, okay? Everything is possible. Some of the things might take a lot of time, but it is possible for you, okay? Even you don't achieve in this life, but you achieve certain level of good things in this life, and then you can also continue in the next life. So don't miss this precious human life. Don't waste this precious human life. This precious human life is immense, immense, immense value, okay? Because in your previous life must have earned very good karma, okay? Maintained ethical discipline, morality, and then connected us with Buddha's Dharma. So this itself is so precious, you see. You can say that, oh, one of my previous life has done such a good job. So now in this precious human life, I will not miss the chance, okay? I will use in the maximum way by first cultivating renunciation, and second cultivating compassion, great compassion and loving kindness, and cultivating bodhicitta and wisdom. Once if you achieve to change your mind into this level, and then I think the happiness really started. And this is possible in this precious human life. And then you can abandon all the bad things. You can be free from all this suffering and sources of suffering. So that is only possible if you really apply, if you really practice, okay? As Milarima says that seeing food is not enough. To get the energy benefit of the food, you have to eat. In the same way, just by listening teaching is not enough. To get the essence of the teaching, you have to practice. If you practice, then you will get the essence of the teaching. So therefore, with this, I like to say, I hope I'm very clear. I hope I have been very clear to you. And then still, if you have some questions, okay, you can ask the question. You can write me, and almost everyone has my email address. And so you can also write through Messenger, and then also WhatsApp. Of course, we close WeChat, because in India it's totally closed. So WhatsApp is there, Messenger is there, and the email address is there. And sometimes even you can call me. And some of you also, I also like to hear your voice, and we can have some chat based on Buddha's teaching. And so we have to make our precious human life in a most meaningful way. And every day you have to check, every day you have to check, every week you have to check, every month you have to check, every year you have to check, okay? Last year I was like this, and this year I'm a little bit better than last year, okay? Well, next year I'm aiming to do good things, and I will be improved, good human being. So in this way, inch by inch, okay, inch by inch you have to improve, okay? If you can do a big jump, of course it will be wonderful, but don't lose hope. Never give up. Just go on trying, go on trying. Just go on trying, okay? Never give up, never give up. To do good thing, to think good thing, to meditate a good thing, to engage in good activities, never give up, okay? And don't give any chance to do bad things. Don't give any chance. You have no time to do good things, bad things. You have no time to think bad things. You have no time to act bad things. You have no time to speak bad things, okay? So this is what I wanted to request you to do all. And I think today, the precious human life and its cause and condition, okay? In short, okay, I spoke everything. The cause and condition of precious human life is maintain morality. By maintaining morality, and you will be born again and good human rebirth, okay? And try not to be separated from Buddha's teaching. And then try not to be separated from the spiritual teacher, His Holiness Dalai Lama, okay? You will be always try to aim to be always connected with His Holiness Dalai Lama. And then also we all have a responsibility to support his mission, okay? One of the solutions is that we all have to cultivate oneness of humanity. Instead of my country and my nation, my faith, instead of this, we all have to think that we are all same human being, oneness of humanity. And then to promote basic human values, okay, like compassion and then wisdom and sense of taking responsibility for everybody. Promoting the religious harmony, okay, interfaith harmony. This is one of His Holiness' mission, okay. Try not to create any friction or any fighting between the faith. And His Holiness is giving a lot of guidance on this. So we also have the responsibility to practice and also have to help to promote His missions. And as a Tibetan, and we really like to go back to Tibet and really like to create Tibet as a zone of peace. It was very, very beautiful, and now it is quite damaged. So now we all have to put effort to maintain same Tibet as it was before 59. And then maintain and more is so useful every century. We all have to also. And so then again, we are going to keep teaching. Tomorrow will be a little bit easier. Why preliminary practices are so important, okay? And then the third day is law of karma, which is very important. So most welcome. And today I stressed on practice. Please practice, okay? And thank you so much. Have a nice day. Thank you. Thank you. Because